The California Midwinter International Exposition of 1894. The California Midwinter International Exposition, commonly referred to as the Midwinter Exposition or the Midwinter Fair, was a world's fair that officially operated from January 27 to July 5th in San Francisco Golden Gate Park. In 1892, US President Benjamin Harris appointed Michael H. D. Young as a national commission to the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition held in Chicago. During that exposition in Chicago, De Young recognized an opportunity to stimulate California's economy in its time of depression. So, in the summer of 1893, De Young announced his plans for a California Midwinter International Exposition to be held in the Golden Gate Park. One of the draws, according to De Young, was California's weather, which would allow for a fair in the middle of winter. Golden Gate Park Superintendent John McLaren fought against holding the exposition in the park, claiming damage to the natural setting would take decades to reverse. In August of 1893, the US Congress approved for the fair to be held in Golden Gate Park. Prior to the Midwinter's Fair opening day in 1893, Isaiah West Tabor won the concession to be the official photographer of the fair, and he documented the fair from when the grading of the land began and continued photographing the fair throughout its entirety. He sold his photos in a striking multi-story pavilion during the exposition on the fair grounds. At the end of the fair, he compiled about 130 of the original photographs into a souvenir book entitled Souvenir of the California Midwinter International Exposition. Much of what is known about the fair, especially visually, comes from Tabor's photographs. The fair encompassed 200 acres centered in the park's current music concourse. 120 structures were constructed for the exposition and more than 2 million people attended. The fair was to feature 4 major buildings. These included the Fine Arts Building, the Agricultural and Horticultural Building, the Mechanical Arts Building, and the Manufacturers and Liberal Arts Building. The Fine Arts Building has become the M.H. De Young Memorial Museum. And other major attractions include the park's famed Japanese tea gardens. So there you go. Did you know the California Midwinter International Exposition of 1894? So let's dig in and have a look at this story. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So the Exposition of 1894 in California. The first thing I'd like to point out is they say that this fair, they only came to the decision that they would build the fair in 1893. And it was run in 1894 and 120 structures were constructed for the exposition. So let's have a look at some pictures. Okay, so here's a few more pictures and paintings and postcards. Now this is, I believe, one of the photos by, what was his name? John DePaul or something? Isaac West Tabor. Now I've looked, now in Wikipedia it says that he took photos of all the construction of this place, and I have looked and I've looked and I have not, well, I found one which I will show you in a minute. We get this picture. This is preparing for the Midwinter Fair. So this is a construction photo. This is preparing for the fair. This is a construction photo apparently. So we get that one. And that's, I haven't found much else. Now, It was electrified, and look at this spotlight. They also had the introduction of different ethnicities, shall we say. So these were Eskimos that were brought in and given a little lake to paddle around on, and this was a Japanese garden. They also had Hawaiians and other things there, but I've searched everywhere. Now I did find, here's some coins they had. So they issued coins as well. 1894. Again, this place was built. Actually, I think they said that they were given permission to start in August of 1893, and this was supposed to be open in January. So 4 months. I'll have to double check those dates. But lots of coins, and down here there's a few that are here, aluminium, bringing in the introduction of aluminium, or aluminum if you're in the United States. So this is what I found. This is his book of photos. Now unfortunately these don't pop up very big. Okay, so we get something like this. We're told this is the camp of, I guess, the construction workers, and this is supposed to be a bit of a construction picture. And then it just goes to these massive, huge buildings, complete with electricity and everything. And the only one that I have found is this one as well. This is the only other one I've found, and this is basically just, we're told again, it's the site of where they're going to build, but that's it. There's nothing there. So here, we'll go look at a few pictures. So understand, the story is that this is built, it says here, in August 1893 the US Congress approved for the fair to be held. So clearly they could not start building before August because it wasn't approved, in Golden Gate Park. And it says up here that the Midwinter Fair officially operated from the 27th of January 1894. Construction started, let's be nice, we'll say the 1st of August in 1893. So that gave them, and we'll be nice too, we'll say the end of January, 5 months. And they built 120 structures, and it was on 200 acres. So let's have a look at what they built in 5 months. Here we go. This massively oversized water feature fountain here. Check out the light. Is that a light post? I'm not even sure what that is. This thing, I guess it's a light. Very tall. And just, massive domes in the background everywhere. Old world looking buildings, columns, everything we're used to. Built in 5 months. Here's some of the buildings. This was called Dante's Fire, I believe. Is that what it's called? Dante's Fire? This was a Ferris wheel called the Firth Wheel. Here we go. Oh, here, wreck of the Jeannette in a hollow iceberg. Oh, well, there you go. Must be a boat. A Ferris wheel called the Firth Wheel, which, there are questions about what Ferris wheels really are or were. An aquarium, Santa Barbara building. This is the main entrance to the Liberal Arts building. Look at this. Very Moorish kind of looking buildings. Look at this. This one looks like it should be next to the Kremlin. Now you could also get a diploma. Gold medal. I'm not sure what you had to do to get that. But there we go. You even get the little wreath. Now this is in the middle of it. Of course, look at this building. Just huge. Now, what you'll see with these photos, what I've noticed as well, is when we see like the scenery sort of shots like this, there's not that many people around. As you can see, it looks like there's someone there. I think that might actually be it. There's a few. I think these are all trees, yeah. So I think that's one person. Then are these people? I don't know, but there's not many people at all in this shot. Of course, massive domed building in the background, but you know, the centerpiece, right? What is this? Just a massive antenna with 3 platforms, interestingly enough, and looking, you know, fairly similar in the style of the Eiffel Tower, really. A bit smaller, not as splayed at the bottom, but looks like it's the same general idea. Built in 5 months, 1893. Now this is inside, and this is, you know, what we see so often in these world fairs, expos. They're just packed. They are stuffed full of stuff, and it just looks like this is the stuff that they've recovered. That's just what it looks like. It's all old world stuff, you know, all, you know, the best of the best. You know, it's probably ordinary for the last civilization, but, you know, much better than we can produce today, and just tons of it out of nowhere. And they never really talk about where all this stuff came from. You know, they sort of say, oh, well, it was an exposition and everyone put their stuff in, but that, you know, building this whole place in 5 months is one thing, but then filling it as well, you know, that's another amount of work. Now here's one. So there's these photo sort of opportunity pics that we get that have got a lot of people in them. This looks like they're having a parade of some kind. We've got all the men in hats standing around, and just this castle, in front of a castle. Why not? A few bunker booths, look like they're a bit drunk. Yeah, what do you say to that? Built in 5 months. Here's another shot. That's that building again, and look at this, looking very similar to what we see, you know, everywhere. You know, this, you know, like a hangar sort of shape, like the Crystal Palace. And of course, we've got domes everywhere, belfries, arches, you know, pillars. It's just the same old story. And of course, trees. And these are not saplings. These are not newly planted. You can't. It's very, very hard to transplant, you know, big trees. And look how big these people are. So these are tall trees. And whoops, as you can see, they're everywhere, all throughout this. So this is a picture of it. Now, I'm not sure what that is. I'll have a look at that in a minute. But this is what they built in 5 months. Here's that tower, that massive antenna, the Ferris wheel, and just huge old world buildings everywhere. Now let's have a look. What is this? Looks like the ruins of something, doesn't it? Is that a star? Just looks like, yeah, the ruins of a building. Maybe this is what got destroyed, but this side didn't. Oh, here's another shot. Oh, look at this. Fairy, right? Fairy tale. And what are these world's fairs? Fairy, they tell us it's all a fairy tale. And then they give us world's fairs. Of course, in the drawings, lots of people. Back here, though, this one photo, got one person here, couple here next to the bunker booths. But, you know, pretty empty, really. This is, yeah, at night time. So look at the power of this light in 1894. And of course, this whole tower and all the electricity, all the infrastructure for the electricity, all put in as well, 5 months. So that's it at night time. And that is another theme, is they use electricity a lot for these to say, oh, well, you know, they could work at night, so we got them done quickly. Another shot inside, just packed full of stuff. Got statues down here, vases. You know, just urns and pots and more statues. This is Gail Borden. Flags, you know, it's really just, are they? Is that an eagle? It's the introduction, isn't it? It really is the introduction of the society they want us to believe exists. And here's another one packed full of people. Okay, you can see here they're lining up, so this is inside, and this one's completely packed full of people. So I'm guessing the other ones are going to say that they were taken maybe before it was opened, or maybe they're the construction photos. And, you know, it's the people walking around were checking the construction. I don't know, but clearly a lot of people in here. And remember, they said 2 million people passed through in about 6 months. Of course, they have the indigenous tribes and things that they've brought in, you know, to build the narrative, right? These are just people who live in huts. And this is, you know, the kind of quality. Like, look at this. Why have they got thrones in here? You know, there's a crown up there. There's crowns on the top of these things. There's another crown. It's just... And to us, this is like, you know, kings and queens kind of stuff. This is probably just how everyone used to live. And there's even a crown on the ceiling. Another shot. And in this as well, it is 1894, I guess. And, you know, you can see how built out the background is as well. Big cross up there. Don't know what that is. Looks like a big domed building out there, and just some random buildings. And then, I mean, do you believe this could be built in 5 months in 1893? Here's a coin, main building. We've got the water feature, and then we've got this. What's this? There's another one there. So we've got twin pillars, and look, it's just our balls there on a spike, on an antenna. It looks like it's got two, one, you know, coming out one each side, and 4 down the bottom there. So what is that about? Is that how they were powering, getting all the electricity? Is that a scratch, or is that showing electricity? But yeah, just spires all over this thing, and of course they've just attached flags to them all. The administration building. This is obviously a drawing, but again, just to show you the scope. And, you know, again, in the drawings, when you look at the drawings, they'll show you this, and then they say, oh, there was nothing anywhere else. This is all, see, it's all, no other buildings. But in the photos, there's buildings everywhere. But just look at the size of these domes. It's just, I mean, 5 months. This is just our main power source again. No doubt, even sitting on top of a building, which is probably some kind of interface. We've got bunker booths all around the outside, And this is another thing we see, is they seem to be built around a central sort of focus. Like the Columbia in St. Louis was around water. This one's obviously not water. Maybe it used to be. It's pretty depressed there. But who knows? Maybe these guys were getting energy from the ether, and in Chicago they were using the water. They may have used many different ways. Who knows? But I mean, this place was powered, fully powered, 1893. And I mean, could you even build this building today in 5 months? Inside again, and you know, it's just the best of everything, the best materials. Just got our plants, introducing different plants to give the illusion that you know, there's all these different separate countries and we're only just finding out what they are. Again, this tower with the spotlight, look at that. And that, I guess that's that cross up on that hill. But look how powerful this light is. What was this being powered by? And how many lumens, you know, what kind of bulb or light source was it? Our Eskimo friends again. And I just like how there's these power poles running through, you know, the Eskimo village. And you know, look at these igloos. I don't know what they're made out of, but clearly not snow. Tartarian eagle up here because it's Russia. So this is the entrance to the Russian exhibition. Got a sort of a Cossack looking guy down there. But look how big that is. So this looks, you know, I mean, they could manufacture this definitely in 4 months, and it doesn't look to be stone. I'm not sure. And it is inside. Look at is that wood? Look at the work on that. And it's like I said, how did they build all the stuff inside as well? But yeah, so it's inside. So they could have built this. Who knows? But still pretty cool. People again, one of these shots where it's full of people. So again, they're probably going to say the empty shots are, you know, construction photos. And here's the 2 million people. American flags flying everywhere, of course, because, you know, you've got to all be, you know, part of the American corporation now. We're going to get you to be patriotic. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying this has all been introduced by the people who want you to follow their version. And I mean, again, look, this place is just packed out with all this amazing stuff. I'm yet to find a free energy display though. This is fruit, apparently. Apparently this is all made out of apples and bits of fruit and stuff that that they grew in California. This looks like honey or something. So there you go. They could make towers out of fruit. Look at this. This guy's like cruising along on a ball. And I don't know what this is. It looks like a slide. Whee! But yeah. It's coming out. I mean, and what is this thing? Are they just using it, you know, have they built that, or is it already there? Is it some kind of electrical device maybe? There's another big ball down here. And again, this shot, there's not that many people. There's some people here sitting down watching. But, you know, it doesn't look like there's 2 million people. Ish. Alright, that looks like the end of the photos. So there you go. The Midwinter exhibition. What do you think? I have to have a bit more of a dig into this, but just from the narrative, all this built in 5 months in California in 1893. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Leave me a like as well. Subscribe if you haven't already and hit the bell. That way you'll be notified of all my upcoming uploads. And also a big thank you, as always, to everyone who does support this channel, all my Patreons, people who support me through PayPal, my merch store, etc. And if you would like to help out, there are links below. So thanks for spending some time with me, guys. Stay awesome, because you are. And I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.